You are now in tune to the most intriguing podcast in the universe. Hosted by the scientist Leon Marshall. Are you ready for Marshall's Melanin Podcast?
Listen, I am fully energized.
Class is in session.
You're gonna learn today.
I found it really enlightening, like educational as well. There were a lot of things I didn't know, especially with melanin and like all the benefits of melanin. So I found that very interesting.
I love it because it's so much information, you know, it's entertaining and it's just facts after facts after facts.
This is the podcast where science is made simple and learning is fun. Welcome to Marshall's Melanin Podcast. Now, here's your host, the scientist Leon Marshall.
Yo, Marshall.
Yes. Welcome, family. My name is Leon Marshall, and you're tuned into Marshall's Melanin Podcast. Thank you, everyone, for joining me tonight. Family, just put some ones in the chat. Let's check the sound. Put some ones in the chat. Let me know where you're tuned in from. Yes, family. We got the family in the building. It's going to be a good one tonight. Talking about melanin and those jabs. Let's get into it tonight, family. So I've created this podcast so we can all truly understand melanin once and for all. What it is and how it works. We must change the narrative around melanin. If we are ever going to understand it. And tonight we need clarity on melanin and vaccines. After tonight, there's no more questions. We need total clarity, family. And that clarity starts tonight. So without further ado, family, get ready for an exciting episode of Marshall's Melanin Podcast, where we change the narrative right now.
I've been to quite a few and I've heard Leon talk at other events, and as usual you do come away learning something.
Listen, I am fully energized.
That is brilliant. It's just so informative, mind-blowing. It's something that, you know, it's just put me on a journey of knowing thyself. It's just fantastic.
So big up London, big up Florida in the building, South London, Birmingham, Hertfordshire, South End in the house, St. Lucia in the building, Warsaw, big up Washington, Plumstead, Northampton. Greetings, family. Welcome for tonight's presentation. Now, family, when it comes onto this subject, we must understand the power of melanin. Again, they try and tell us that melanin is just this skin thing. It's so much deeper than that. And if you've been following my podcast, you know that melanin is much more than just this pigment, yeah? And I'm hoping that people are starting to realize the power of melanin and all the things that it does. But what people tend to forget is what it does with toxins and drugs, yeah? So I'm going to go over tonight what melanin does with regards to toxins, pathogens, drugs, and viruses. Check this video out.
Once upon a time, melanin was thought of as a waste product. That same melanin that gives your skin its tone is the same melanin that conducts electricity in your brain. It is the reason you feel the beat before it drops, why you move with rhythm, why your senses are sharp, why your soul dances before your body even moves. Neuromelanin is also a natural detox. It's like a sponge. It's a gift because it traps heavy metals and toxins to stop them from damaging more vulnerable parts of the brain and the body. It holds the poison to keep you safe. Over time, if the toxic load gets too high and isn't cleared out, it can backfire. higher. That built up waste can start to disrupt brain function and lead to issues on a lower scale like brain fog, mood swings, depression, and then get increased to neurodegenerative diseases. Science now knows that it acts as a semiconductor, superconductor that transmits energy between neurons. So let's say neuromelanin is damaged, when toxins flood the body, when the colon backs up, when this system breaks down, diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's emerge not just from age, but the loss of this electrical pigment. The ancestors weren't just eating for taste, they were feeding the electrical brain. So supporting melanin means detoxing regularly, eating antioxidant-rich fruits that feed your brain with minerals, because the same melanin that protects you can also carry the burden. Deep-colored fruits like blackberries, blueberries, elderberries, and purple grapes are loaded with antioxidants that shield your internal melanin from damage. The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. The blacker the berry, the stronger the shield. And don't sleep on your greens, your kale, your dandelion, your chlorophyll-rich herbs, and sea moss that help detox the body and keep melanin functioning at its highest vibration. Eat to protect your power.
Eat to protect your power. Yeah. And I know there was a lot of scientific jargon. That's a powerful sis. She's on social media and she talks a lot about melanin. And she was getting into the science of melanin, which I do break down in my book, family. But she was talking about neuromelanin and how neuromelanin can kind of trap drugs and other toxins when they enter your system. Yeah. Very powerful stuff that sis was talking about. And in my book, I talk about melanin and drugs. So this is actually an excerpt from my book. And it says, one of the biggest codes of silence around the effects of melanin is the effect it has on drugs, toxic chemicals, and heavy metals. Due to its stable nature, melanin has the unique ability to bind to harmful drugs, toxins, and metals and retain these harmful compounds in its structure for a very long time. Yeah. And I always give my sources of where I get this information from. So that was from a study by Larson and Chevalve in 1979. Yeah. So melanin has the unique ability to bind to harmful drugs, toxins, and metals. So anything that pierces your skin, family, that is dangerous, your melanin jumps on that like a defense system, yeah, and can bind to it and just hold it somewhere in the body so it doesn't harm you. But like the sis said in her video, that can overburden melanin over time, yeah? So we have to constantly detox our melanin, detox it, because it's doing jobs that we don't even know that it's doing, protecting us from toxins, viruses, pathogens, all that sort of stuff, yeah? So really, your melanin is like your immune system. In fact, the melanin that your skin is made of, they call it melanocytes. And you look up melanocytes online and they'll blatantly tell you that melanocytes act as your immune system. They kind of do the job of immunity in the body, yeah? So this is from immunology. This is from pubmed.gov. This is a scientific study where they found that the immunology and inflammatory responses of human melanocytes in infectious diseases and how effective melanocytes were on these infective diseases, yeah? Now check this out, family. I'm not going to read all of it, but just look. I don't know if you guys can see this. If you're on your phone, you might not be able to see it too good. But if you're on your laptop, it says abstract. Melanin is a canonical and major defense molecule in invertebrates, but its role in mammalian immunity remains unexplored. In contrast, several recent studies have highlighted the emergent innate immune activities of human melanin-producing cells, which can sense and respond to bacterial and viral infections. Now remember, this is probably not black doctors and black scientists saying this, yeah? This is what they're finding by doing their research. It says, indeed, the skin is a major portal of entry for pathogens such as arboviruses. And then it gives you examples of arboviruses, chikungunya and dengue, and bacteria. And then it gives you the examples of bacteria. And then later down, it goes on to say the infection and the inflammatory responses will control melanocytes' immune and metabolic functions and could contribute to skin manifestations like rashes, hyperpigmentation, all of that sort of stuff. In other words, family, your skin, your melanin is the first line of defense against all of these things: pathogens, viruses, bacteria, all that sort of stuff. This is the highlights of this scientific study. It says skin is a major portal of entry for pathogens such as alpha viruses and bacteria. Melanogenesis, and again, I know this is kind of scientific, but I kind of break it down to a simplified way. Melanogenesis, when you see that word, it just means melanin producing. Just think Genesis, producing, and then melano means melanin. So the production of melanin and barrier function, including from UV, could be affected. Pathogens and melanocyte cell debris could drive local inflammation. Melanocytes express many innate immune molecules and receptors to contain infection. And then it goes on to say melanocytes and immune cells will also orchestrate resolution of injuries. In other words, your melanin's protecting you from things that you don't even realize, family. Anything that's dangerous in the external environment, yeah, including viruses or the flu, anything like that, or pathogens, your melanin, in particular melanocytes, they're literally acting as your immune system. They're protecting you from these things. Yeah. So what do you think happens when you take a vaccine? When you take a vaccine, you're literally bypassing your protective mechanism. You're literally going past the shield that the Most High, for those of you, you may not even be religious or spiritual, you believe in a creator. The creator gave you this thing to protect you from viruses, bacteria, pathogens, all that sort of stuff. And it literally coats your being. It literally coats this spiritual vehicle that you drive. Yeah. What do you think happens when you go past that shield? You pierce that shield. I like to use analogies. Who's seen the film Sinners? Your melanin is like this, protecting people from coming into the juke joint. Big up everyone who's seen the film Sinners. Put a one in the chat if you've seen the film Sinners. This is your melanin protecting you from, the vampires that want to come into the juke joint. And if you've seen the film or any vampire film, you know that the vampires, they don't just come in. They have to ask you to come in. Yeah. But when you let them in, family, you are letting in the vampires. That's my analogy for the vaccine. The vaccine is the vampire. And as soon as it goes past your skin, you are letting the vampire in. Remember that. Soon as it goes past your skin, you are letting the vampire in. And then you keep that in mind and you start to look back at those last 5 years, family. Well, yeah, going into 6 years, last 5 years, when all of this stuff just went crazy. Remember, they were pushing it on us more than anyone. So who remembers this? This is from the Independent. It says people of color must be prioritized for the COVID vaccine unless we want history to repeat itself. Yeah. So they're saying, you guys, you black folks, come forward. We need you guys to take it. Yeah. We need to prioritize black people. And at the time, a lot of us, unfortunately, were falling for this because, like I always say, they look at themselves as the authority when it comes to science. So because a lot of us back then, especially back then, a lot of us weren't into science, we just go by what the experts say. Oh, well, the scientists say it's safe and the scientists say this. And they really pushing it on us. So we must take it. But just using a little bit of common sense, when you see them pushing something hard on black folks, wouldn't you say to yourself, that's very interesting? Because they don't do that with other issues that black people are going through. And a good example of this is what Charlemagne the God said. This was a couple years ago, because he said that they were trying to recruit him When I say they, I mean the usual suspects. The usual suspects were trying to recruit him to kind of push the vaccine, get his face out there, and just promote it. Yeah. And listen to what he said at that time.
Reach out to me and ask me to be on these task force to help lead people to get the vaccine, lead black people to get the vaccine. And I always say, man, I've never seen y'all in a rush to remedy anything else in the black community. You know, when it comes to poverty, when it comes to police brutality, when it comes to all of these things that we know the black community could use in order to thrive. I don't ever see y'all in a rush with anything to remedy those issues. But with this vaccine, it's just like, we got to get it to black people, and we got to get it to black people now. It's just like, nah, we got hundreds of...
Even if you don't know the science, was that not strange to people? Was that not strange that these folks were pushing it on us? Like, nah, we definitely need to get it out to black folks. Black folks, we need you guys to take it first. Weren't that strange to you? Even if you don't know the science. Do you get what I'm saying? Because a lot of us, again, back then, we weren't really into science and all that sort of stuff. Big up the people who are now starting to get into science. But back then, wouldn't you think, why are they pushing this on us quite hard? And that's America. Obviously, Charlemagne the God he was talking about, they were recruiting him in America. But over here, remember, they were going with this BAME thing. BAME Londoners should be on priority list for rollout of COVID-19 vaccines, says Sadiq Khan. Yeah? And they wanted to give us the Pfizer, or any one of them, because remember, there was 3 of them. But they wanted to give us the Pfizer, they wanted to give us all of these, and they wanted us to be the first. They wanted us to be the first to take it. Yeah? And then, as you guys remember, around this time, you saw doctors, all types of doctors, but especially when they were trying to influence the black community, you saw black doctors online dancing and then dispelling quote unquote myths. Yeah. Here's a doctor. She's actually American, but you might have seen her online, especially around that time, because she was really pushing the vaccine. But this is how she was promoting it. Look at how, and again, this is just one example, but a lot of them were doing this sort of stuff. The dancing thing. Check this out.
Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know.
And then I guess they told her you have to take it and show everyone that you're taking it. So then Tutu's, she's shown taking it. And I don't know, this video is kind of suspect. It doesn't look like she took it, but even if she did, but this is her taking it.
Here we go.
And this is the magic.
This is the magic. There she goes. She's getting it ready.
And you are done.
Oh, we did it. Yay!
And you are a favorite superhero.
Oh, thank you. Do you even see where it is? Awesome, guys, look. Yay. Thank you so much, Jen. Okay, let's. Yay. Thank you.
Everything is this, yay, I'm happy, I'm taking it. And Sonia in the chat said not to be too critical for those who took it. Yeah, because a lot of people were bamboozled about the science. They were hearing these quote unquote experts telling them that it was safe. Do you get what I'm saying? If you're seeing a black doctor, beautiful black doctor, and she's smiling and she's saying the Moderna vaccine is 94.5% effective, diverse study population, seems to reduce severe illness, doesn't need you get me? You're gonna unfortunately fall for these things. So I'm not critical for the people who took it. I am critical for the people who promoted it. Because you're a doctor, you're a quote unquote expert. You should know better. I don't want to hear this, oh, well, I didn't know. Do your research. You understand? You're a black doctor. Do your research. So I'm not critical for, the average person who took it. I'm critical for the people who promoted it, like these people.
This is becoming a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
We've got to shun people.
We need to shun those that refuse to get vaccinated.
Put them on a bus and bring them to a mass vaccination center.
It has nothing to do with freedom.
The only pandemic we have is among the unvaccinated, and they're killing people.
Don't get the vaccine, you can't go to the supermarket. Don't have the vaccine, can't go to the ball game. Don't have the vaccine, can't go to work. You don't have a vaccine?
Can't go to the movies. Don't have a vaccine. You can't do your laundry. Don't have the vaccine. You can't eat food. Don't have the vaccine. Can't pet a cat. Don't have the vaccine. Can't smell a flower. Don't have the vaccine. You can't look at a rainbow.
You get what I'm saying? They were on this foolishness. And listen to this, listen to the language. We need to shun them people. Do you understand? We need to shun them. We need to shame them. They shouldn't be able to do anything. Don't have a vaccine? Then you shouldn't be able to do this. Don't have a vaccine? You shouldn't be able to do that. Now, family, I wonder who's been paying attention, because you don't hear them saying this anymore. Don't have a vaccine, you won't be able to do this. Don't have a vaccine, you won't be able to do that. But let me see who's been paying attention, or who can just use common sense and put two and two together. At that part at the end where he says, don't have a vaccine, can't do this. Don't have a vaccine, can't do that. If you've been paying attention or you're putting two and two together, someone remix this for what's happening next. At the end where he says, you don't have a vaccine, you can't do this, don't have a vaccine. Listen.
Can't go to work. You can't go to the supermarket. Don't have the vaccine, can't go to the ball game. Don't have the vaccine, can't go to work. You don't have the vaccine?
Yeah, replace vaccine with something. Put it in the chat. Everyone put it in the chat. Don't have a... What are they going to replace don't have a with?
Don't have the vaccine, can't go to the ball game. Don't have the vaccine, can't go to work. You don't have the vaccine?
Can't go to the movies. Don't have a vaccine. You can't do your laundry. Don't have the vaccine. You can't eat food. Don't have the vaccine. Can't pet a cat. Don't have the vaccine. Can't smell a flower. Don't have the vaccine. You can't look at a rainbow.
Don't have... Thank you, everyone. Don't have... They started with don't have a vaccine. Soon it's going to be digital ID. If you don't have a digital ID, that is the next step.
The World Economic Forum just publicly admitted COVID was a trial run for mass compliance. Remember when people were called conspiracy theorists for suggesting that COVID was being used to see how far governments could go and how much the public would accept? A document published by the WEF openly describes COVID as a real-world test for social responsibility. They point to the mass compliance with lockdowns, mask mandates, vaccine campaigns, and digital tracking as absolute proof that billions of people will accept sweeping behavioral instructions when framed as necessary for the collective good. What they're seeing is that the majority of the population will follow orders without question, and now they're turning that data into a push for even more control through digital ID and carbon tracking. This was never about a virus. It was a test to see if you would follow orders, and now they have the results. They're moving directly into the next phase of the Great Reset. The next phase is a digital social credit system where your bank accounts are tied to a digital passport. And now if you don't comply with the next emergency, they won't just ask you to stay home. They'll be able to block your access to travel, block your ability to buy food, or even shut off your digital wallet instantly. This is why it's important to share this and spread the message so people know what's coming.
There you go. That's the next step, the digital ID. Don't have a digital ID? Can't work. Don't have a digital ID? Can't pet your cat. Don't have a digital ID? Can't look at a rainbow. That's the next step, mate. That's the next step. And this is what people they just keep on forgetting when it comes to these usual suspects. They are the greatest Decepticons in the world. The way they deceive people. And they'll say one thing and then say another thing a couple years later. They never stand on anything. Yeah, they flip-flop. They'll change what they say. Do you get what I'm saying? They'll lie and say, I never said that. And here's a classic example. This is Mr. COVID, man, yeah? And just listen to what he said in 2021 compared to what he said in 2024.
When people are vaccinated, they can feel safe that they are not going to get infected. Now, I got infected about 2 weeks ago. It was my third infection, and I had been vaccinated and boosted a total of 6 times.
These people, it's like there's no shame in their game. They're talking about we need to shame the people who haven't been vaccinated. We need to shun them. We need to shame them. They have no shame. The man blatantly lied and said, don't worry, you won't. If you take the vaccine, you won't get infected. Then a couple years later, he's like, yeah, I've taken the vaccine plus 6 boosters and this is my 3rd time getting infected. Like, don't you have any shame? No shame, you know. They'll just say it, yeah? And check this out. We're talking about vaccines, but obviously this guy was pushing flu shots years ago. So I'm going to show you a video from like decades ago where they were pushing flu shots. But listen to what he says in this video.
She's had the flu for 14 days. Should she get a flu shot?
Well, no. If she got the flu for 14 days, she's as protected as anybody can be, because the best vaccination is to get infected yourself.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Did everyone hear that? Shall we pull that one up and play it again? This is why sometimes you got to go back in time and hear what they said, because they're not consistent. They flip-flop with what they say. Do you understand? Listen.
She's had the flu for 14 days. Should she get a flu shot?
Well, no. If she got the flu for 14 days, she's as protected as anybody can be, because the best vaccination is to get infected yourself.
There you go. So when it came onto COVID, the best vaccination was to get infected yourself, according to Mr. COVID. Do you understand? But you know what's crazy? Because it has been 5 years now. And obviously, when it first happened, the BAME community, whoever they are, they were getting hit hard. They were getting infected, BAME, quote unquote, BAME people were dying and that sort of stuff. But do you know that a lot of NHS doctors and nurses are starting to refuse the jab? And when I say the jab, I mean the flu shot, but I'm assuming that they're refusing vaccines as well. Check this out.
Doctors and nurses.
Yeah, who'd have thought it? So the NHS has a vaccine problem. Staff don't want the jab. So doctors, nurses and other frontline NHS staff are shunning the flu vaccine. So this is the flu vaccine, not the coronavirus vaccine, in ever greater numbers, with almost 9 in 10 staff at one of England's largest hospital trusts unvaccinated last winter. Oh, I wonder what changed in the last 5 years to make people suspicious of vaccines.
Wait a minute, family. Are you saying our black brothers and sisters who work in the NHS are starting to wake up? Is that what we're saying, family? Our black brothers and sisters in the NHS are actually starting to wake up. Wake up and smell the coffee. Do you understand? Because remember, they were on the front line. They were taking it. They were getting pushed to take it and all that. Now they're saying, nah, do you know what? I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it. And you know what? I'm not even taking the flu jab. I'm not taking the flu jab. Despite the people who push it. So again, big up Sonia's comment who said we shouldn't really be too hard on the people who took it, because, you know what I mean, some of them, they felt like their job depended on it and all that sort of stuff. I am not critical of those who took it. No way. The fact of the matter is, you're dealing with some of the greatest deceptors in the world. They will deceive you. I'm not going to be angry at people who have been deceived, but I will critique the deceivers. The deceivers, the ones that push these things. You know what I mean? They talk about we need to shun these people and shame them, let everyone know who they are. Nah, man, I'm not that type. I'm not going to be going around shaming people. But if I was that type, I'm not that type, but if I was that type, I'd start pointing fingers like they start pointing fingers. So this is a sponsored post from Voice newspaper where they've got a black doctor promoting the flu jab. Yeah. So it says, if you've had a cough for 3 weeks or more and it isn't COVID-19, just contact your GP practice. And I love the language. Listen to this, yeah? They say, if you've had a cough for 3 weeks or more and it isn't COVID-19, just contact your GP practice. In other words, just come to us. Even if it's not COVID, just come to us so we can deal with you, so we can jab you up and give you drugs, and just come to us. But it's not COVID. No, just come to us anyway. They said in this post, if you had a cough for 3 weeks or more and it isn't COVID-19, just contact your GP practice. Yeah. And that's not even the funniest part. Check the next part. It says, it's probably nothing, but it could be a sign of cancer. These people and their language. They said, it's probably nothing, but it could be a sign of cancer. So come check us. Yeah. The way they try and put fear in people's heart is too funny. Yeah. And then they say, if it is cancer, finding it early makes it more treatable and can save lives. You see, anytime you see that save lives phrase, beware. because they done that save lives thing all the way through the pandemic. Save lives, stay indoors, save lives, wear a mask, save lives. That save lives mask, if it comes from them, beware. Do you understand? But yeah, this gave me joke. It's probably nothing. Don't worry about it. But it could be cancer. So come check us. Yeah. That is how they get black people running to these GP practices. Yeah. And then big up the sis in the comments. Look at the comments. The sis in the comments said, "Why would I contact my GP when they do not know and understand how to treat a black British family? I'd rather treat myself than go to someone who do not listen." Oof. Big up the sis in the chat, in the chat on this post. Crazy. Yeah. And when it comes onto the flu jab, yeah. When it comes onto the flu jab, you see this video here? This should have ended the conversation years ago. Who remembers this? This is quite rare because Piers Morgan, you know he's one of the biggest usual suspects out there, yeah? Who remembers when he went on that Dr. Oz? He went on Dr. Oz's show and live, he took the flu shot live on TV. Check this out.
See, I've been taking my clothes off, not just for Mimi's benefit, although she's rather enjoying it, because I'm about to have my first ever flu shot. And I thought, a better guy than you to do it. So the myth about these, and I'm told it's a myth, is that you can actually get flu or flu-like symptoms simply by having the shot. Is that true?
You cannot get the flu from the flu shot because the material is actually dead flu virus.
Okay.
So it cannot cause a problem for you. It's based on whatever virus was present in Southeast Asia a few months ago.
Okay, so that is a myth.
That's a myth.
Okay. You've got a very large needle.
I love this.
You're enjoying
this is literally the biggest needle I could find. There are none larger. Please give me a muscle.
Okay.
That's it?
Mate, that's the biggest muscle you've seen for a while.
Look. All right, that's it. That's it. 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
and
blood.
Please.
Oh.
Not even bleeding. No blood even, please. Now, I'll give you a Band-Aid. You don't cry.
Okay. It's like a dull ache, really, isn't it? It doesn't really hurt.
It doesn't really hurt, and it's about the size of a mosquito bite.
Should children have them?
It's recommended that after the age of 6 months that we give it to our kids, and frankly, it's much more valuable in the really young and the really old. But it's particularly the older folks who get the flu, and then they have heart attacks related to it. They get all kinds of complications related to it. So, listen, it's one of those smart things. In life, there are some things that are predictable, there's some things that aren't. This is one of those events that I think can be beneficial with very low side effect. I mean, we've got 130 million of these little vials out there waiting to help people with. Let's take advantage of it.
If I get flu now, I'm coming after you.
I'm here.
25 million records, Dwight Yoakam is much more than a country superstar. He's a talented actor with a lot to say about issues that matter to America. Dwight's latest album is 3 Pairs. Welcome to you, Dwight. Before we go any further, you're a singer.
Yeah.
You must have had sore throats.
I hear
over the
that.
years.
Well,
you know, can tell, things are deteriorating. Is there any advice you can give me?
Don't ever take a flu shot again. Now, I watched that night with Dr. Oz, and in deference to Dr. Oz, I think he's, he seems like a completely competent doctor. And I don't understand any of the kind of biological aspects of the, of the meds that,
But we're both doing the maths, aren't we? We both saw him put that thing in my arm, and within 10 days, I've been struck down.
You know what? I don't want to tell anybody out there, I'm not a medical advisor. Get your vaccines I don't believe in them. I'm just suspicious by nature, and I saw you get it. And here we are.
Well, we'll try and plow on with the interview, notwithstanding the fact I can't speak.
Yeah. So look at that. Even Piers Morgan had to put 2 and 2 together. He was like, okay, you saw me on Dr. Oz's show take that jab, yeah? And then 2-2s, I get sick and come down with the flu. Do you understand? And whilst the doctor's literally putting a needle in his arm, he's talking about, yeah, no, you can't get the flu from a flu jab. What do you think's in a flu jab, fam? Do you get what I'm saying? And you'd think about how old this video is. Piers Morgan's got like brown hair or dark hair in this video. Think about how old this video is. You don't think he's learned his lesson. He went live on TV and took a jab that made him sick. Yeah? You don't think he learned his lesson? No. When it came on to COVID, he was one of the biggest pushers of the vaccine. Was he not? Yeah? He used to finger wag everyone. He used to call people scumbags for not taking it. Yeah? You guys are scumbags. You guys are the scum of the earth. And then did he not take it and get sick again? This fool. Yeah? So this says fully vaccinated and boosted Piers Morgan test positive for COVID-19. And guess who he blamed? Guess who he blamed for getting sick? You fool. Do you understand? This is why you gotta be careful when you're listening to these usual suspects. And it always amazes me when melanated folks still listen to them, still believe them. Yeah? And to give him a little bit of credit, well, I don't even think it's credit because I still think these people, they follow a script. But you know, once he quote unquote realized that the COVID vaccine wasn't what it seemed to be, he did go on TV and start apologizing, saying I was wrong about the COVID-19 vaccine.
Now, where I was completely wrong was, you mentioned COVID. And it was interesting. It really changed my thinking about these things. In COVID, I got very, I think, overly emotionally engaged because I knew people who were dying of COVID, and it was awful. And in Britain, we handled it very badly. But I got led down a line which I wished I hadn't been led down. I'll give an example. When the scientists said, if you have the vaccine, you can't transmit the virus, I believed them. And I became wrongly censorious, really badly censorious. I was saying to people, if you don't have it now, knowing that if you have it, you can't transmit the virus, you're going to go and kill old people, you're going to kill people. It's not about you, it's about the people you may infect and kill. And it turned out to be completely wrong. They later said, months and months later, actually, there's no difference whether you have the vaccine or not in terms of transmitting the virus. And at that point, I realized I'd been misled.
So he says that he'd been misled. Untrue. You were the misleader. Do you understand? Don't try to start acting innocent now. You went on TV a decade ago, if not longer, and took a flu jab and got sick from that. That should have told you, fam. That should have told you. But no, these people with their agendas are so strong. You damn near died, you fool. Twice you took their jabs and got sick. But when it comes onto their agendas, they put agenda over everything. Do you get what I'm saying? Deception and agenda over everything. You see me? I put truth over everything. Man said, oh, I've been misled. No, you were the misleader, rude boy. You were one of the misleaders. And that's why there's a famous quote. And it says, Desmond Tutu, I think, said this quote. And he says, one thing I've learned from history is that we don't learn from history. He's talking about black folks. He's saying one thing I've learned from history is that we don't learn from history. As soon as this COVID-19 thing came out, everyone should have remembered this. As soon as this COVID-19 thing came out, 2020, everyone should have been like, no, I know history. I know what this is about, yeah? And for those who don't, the Tuskegee experiment, look it up. This was what, in the 1930s, back in the 1930s, Tuskegee, you know, when they were experimenting on black men, injecting them with syphilis just to see what it does over a 40-year period, family. 40 years they were injecting black men with syphilis. Do you understand? And if you know your history, you know how detrimental this was to the black community in America. And you're gonna turn around and forget about this history, or just try and erase it and say, nah, man, I know that happened, but I trust them now. Because that's what they were getting black folks to do during COVID. You'd see images like this, rebuilding the trust that Tuskegee destroyed. This guy's holding up a sign saying, rebuilding the trust that Tuskegee destroyed. You fool! Oh my days. This is crazy. And here's my thing. Again, I don't really want to critique the people who took it too much. But just take it, fam. You don't have to do no videos of you taking it or hold up full signs of you taking it. If you're gonna take it, take it. We don't need to know that you've taken it. When you do foolishness like this though, I'ma call it out. You're holding up a sign saying rebuilding the trust that Tuskegee destroyed. You fool. Do you get what I'm saying? And again, these people, they are the pushers of it. They were the ones promoting it. And they use two types of tactics with us, family. Let me show you the two tactics they use to push it on us. One was the aggressive tactic, the we're gonna name and shame tactic. Yeah. One was the aggressive tactic, and then the other one was the nice, calm, we love you tactic. Yeah. I'm gonna show both of them, but it was like a good cop, bad cop tactic. Here's the bad cop tactic. Here's the aggressive push.
Unvaccinated, you are the problem. It is the unvaccinated who are the problem.
The truth. Maybe they should be shamed by the unvaccinated.
It's time to start blaming the unvaccinated.
Listen to the language. Maybe they should be shamed. Maybe let's blame and shame. Maybe they should be shamed.
Maybe they should be shamed by the unvaccinated.
It's time to start blaming the unvaccinated folks, not the regular folks.
We can't trust the unvaccinated. The unvaccinated, a group that includes children and people acting like children.
When are we going to stop putting up with the idiots in this country and just say it's mandatory to get vaccinated?
Look, name calling, they're calling us idiots. Now, everyone you're seeing in this now, they are vampires. I don't care what color they are, whatever. Notice the language. It's finger wagging, it's aggressive, it's naming and shaming and blaming. Just because you had questions about this thing, yeah?
Oh, you can't shame them. You can't call them stupid. You can't call them silly. Yes, they are.
Those who are not vaccinated will end up paying the price.
The unvaccinated should be taxed. They should pay more for health care.
We need to start looking at the choice to remain unvaccinated the same as we look at driving while intoxicated. Really, the only people dying are the unvaccinated. And for those of you spreading misinformation, shame on you.
We've got to shun.
My guy said, shame on you, you know. These are the people that promoted something that killed millions. Millions. And my guy's finger wagging us talking about shame on you.
The same as we look at driving while intoxicated. Really, the only people dying are the unvaccinated. And for those of you spreading misinformation, shame on you.
We've got to shun folks. We've got to shun people into getting.
To shun those that refuse to get vaccinated.
The unvaccinated.
And by the way, notice that it's not just white folks, it's melanated folks as well. These are vampires as well. Big up the people that have watched the movie Sinners. Once you get bitten, you become the vampire. There was enough melanated vampires in the movie Sinners. Do you understand? So here's the thing when it comes on to me and the truth. We shouldn't be united with other people just because they have melanin. Nah. Them days are over. I don't think them days ever existed. But uniting with people just because they have melanin or believe in people just because they have melanin, no way, rude boy. Do you know how many melanated vampires there are out there?
Shun folks. We've got to shun people into getting.
To shun those that refuse to get vaccinated.
The unvaccinated people have put us in the position that we're in now, and it is not a good place. You got to start telling people, if you don't get vaccinated, you can't come into this office or this place of business. If you don't get vaccinated, you can't come to work.
No, screw your freedom.
Freedom is a fragile thing.
Screw your freedom. That's what the Terminator said. He said, screw your freedom. Do you understand? So that was one of their tactics. I call it the good cop, bad cop. So that's the bad cop. Very aggressive, name and shame, shunning, name calling, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. But here's the good cop. This is what they did with black folks. Yeah. This was very nice and loving. They got black people. This is why I say, big up the person who said it in the chat. Skinfolk ain't kinfolk, yeah? So they got melanated people to do these videos where they were like, black people, we love you. We really want you to be healthy. Black people, we care. Who remembers these types of videos?
Dear mums and dads.
Grandparents. Aunties.
Uncles.
Brothers.
Sisters.
Nephews.
And by the way, family, by the way, When you see these types of videos, yeah, again, vampires, yeah, vampires, all of them. I don't care who you are, you're a vampire. If you are promoting the vaccine, I don't care who you are. You are a vampire, fam. You've been bitten, and there's no coming back from that. You are a vampire. That's everyone. I don't care who you were. If you're promoting the vaccine, you are a vampire. But then you got to think to yourself, yeah? Because these usual suspects, they know who to choose when it comes to us melanated folks. I want you to look at these people and think to yourself what they've got in common.
Dear mums and dads,
Grandparents, aunties,
uncles,
brothers,
sisters,
nephews,
nieces, sons,
daughters.
cousins. We love you.
We love you.
We know we don't say it often enough. And sometimes we have our disagreements like families do. But wherever you are, we love you from the bottom of our hearts. And we know you love us.
And we want to see you again. COVID-19 has kept us apart for way too long. We want to hug you. We want...
Uh-oh. Tarina. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's go through that. Tarina said, what do they have in common? Is it their partners? Well, let's investigate.
Dear mums and dads,
White partner.
Grandparents, aunties,
uncles,
brothers,
sisters,
nephews,
nieces, sons,
daughters.
cousins. We love you.
So, Lenny Henry. That was Lenny Henry. Everyone knows he has white partners, and he currently has a white partner.
We know we don't say it often enough. And sometimes we have a...
Adjo Ando. You guys type in her name. Adjo, A-D-J-O-A. Ando, A-N-D-O-H. And look at her partner. Look at her husband. Look at her husband. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with having a partner from another race, but it's just very interesting that, there seems to be a similarity here. So white partner, white partner.
Our disagreements like families do. But wherever you are.
Reverend Rose Hudson Wilkin. Type in her name into Google and type in husband after her name. And you guys tell me what you see. Yeah? Reverend Rose Hudson Wilkin. Again, for the non-melanated folks watching, there's nothing wrong with being in an interracial relationship. Nothing wrong with that. But I find it interesting that this seems to be a common thread with these melanated vampires. It seems to be a common thread here, yeah? And again, nothing wrong with being in an interracial relationship.
We love you from the bottom of our hearts.
But here's my thing, yeah? Here's my thing. Again, nothing wrong with being in an interracial relationship. But if you're on some, we love you, we love you, we love you. But then every time I see you, you're with non-melanated folks, it makes me question whether or not what you're saying right now is genuine. It makes me question whether or not what you're saying is genuine. Black people, we love you. Black people, we really care for you. This is the reason why we want you to take the back. We love you, black people. Listen, again, you guys know I like to use analogies. Imagine I'm not really an animal person. I'm not really into animals. You know what I mean? I'm cool when I'm around them, but I'm not really one to have pets. But let's say I'm an animal person and I say to you, I love dogs. Yeah? If I said to you guys, I love dogs. Leon Marshall, I love dogs. You see dogs? I love you. You see dogs? I love being around dogs. I love dogs. But then when you lot come to my house, yeah, you come in my house and all you see is cats. Ain't you gonna be like, wait a minute, hold on a second. Didn't you say you love dogs? Yeah, I love dogs. Then how come you ain't got no dogs in your yard, fam? How come your yard is full of cats? Yeah? That's how it is with everyone in this little ad here, yeah? Talking about black people, we love you. Black people, go on their Instagram, no black people. You go in their yard, no black people. You get me? Who they lay down with, no black people, but yet you love black people. That's like me saying I love dogs, but every time you see me with cats. It don't make sense, fam.
And we know you love us.
And we want to see you again.
White partner.
COVID-19 has kept us apart for way too long.
We want to hug you. We want to celebrate with you. We want to worship with you.
This guy has got an Asian partner, Adrian Lester. His partner's Asian.
We want to play video games.
No, you don't, fam. Stop lying. Oh, gosh. This guy's got an Asian family, rude boy, talking about we want to play video games with you because black people, we love you.
Preferably in the same room so that we can see the look on your face when we beat you.
But in order to do all that, we all need to take the COVID-19 jab. So all of us in this together.
Her name is Naomi Aki. Naomi Aki. Yeah. Again, type in partner, type in husband, you tell me.
In this together.
Things will slowly get back to normal. Well, what they're calling the new normal. But in reality, the new normal will mean needing a vaccine for doing the kinds of things we used to take for granted.
Because we love you, we want you to be safe. We don't want you to be left out or left behind.
While other communities are rushing to get the vaccine and millions have already been vaccinated, some black people in our community are being more cautious.
You have legitimate worries and concerns, and we hear that. We know change needs to happen and that it's hard to trust some institutions and authorities.
But we're asking you to trust the facts about the vaccine from...
It's not hard to not trust them. From when people show you their true colors, it's not hard. This guy just said, we know it's hard to trust vampires. It's not hard to trust vampires, rude boy.
Concerns, and we hear that. We know change needs to happen and that it's hard to trust some institutions and authorities.
But we're asking you to trust the facts about the vaccine from our own professors, scientists, and doctors.
The facts from our vampires. Trust the facts from our vampires. Trust us.
Involved in the vaccine's development. GPs not just from here in the UK, but from all over the world, including Africa and the Caribbean.
Many of whom are our relatives.
He said, experts from all over the world, including Africa and the Caribbean.
GPs not just from here in the UK, but from all over the world, including Africa and the Caribbean.
In other words, they're trying to get all black folks in it. So when they see black folks, they're like, okay, no, we've got GPs from Africa. Yeah, you African? Okay, we got you. And the Caribbean. Yep. No, we've got Caribbean scientists as well. We've got Africa and the Caribbean. So you guys are cool. Yeah, so believe us, please, believe us.
Many of whom are our relatives. Many of whom have made the ultimate sacrifice to protect the people of this country from this pandemic. And the thousands who volunteered to be part of vaccine trials so that we know it's safe and works for people of all ethnicities.
Don't let coronavirus cost even more black lives. Because we matter.
We love you. We don't want you to get sick.
We don't want you to die. So please, hear us.
And when your turn comes, take the jab.
That was a bit aggressive.
Let's do this together.
And once you do, tell Cousin Mo to do the same thing. Is he really my cousin?
Good grief. Good friggin' grief, mate. Again, I'm not gonna use their tactic of naming and shaming. You get me? It's just not me. I'm not gonna name and shame and call people scumbags and say that they're pathetic and all that. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just not me. However, family, if it was me and I was going to name and shame, then I'd show you certain doctors who back then, black doctors, were pushing the vaccine. So this doctor, he said, I had the COVID-19 vaccine because we owe it to each other as a community to do everything we can within our power to protect not just ourselves, but each other. And the vaccine offers a way to do this. All right, cool. So that's that brother there. Yeah. This is Voice newspaper sponsored post. And by the way, you guys check this guy and check his partner. Again, nothing wrong with being in an interracial relationship, but I guarantee you, you won't be surprised. This one says, I had the COVID-19 vaccine because doing my research and knowing that the independent experts that monitor the medicines I prescribe to my patients assessed and approved these vaccines gave me the confidence to get the jab. So that's Dr. Carol. There's her name. Again, I'm not into naming and shaming, but if I was, I'd tell you guys to go look her up and look up her partner. Again, Voice newspaper. Oh, Voice newspaper again. Because remember, family, the people who are pushing it, if we were aggressive like they were aggressive, we can say, you guys are killers. You guys have got blood on your hands. Do you understand? So again, why is Voice newspaper giving all of these vampires a platform for them to spew this nonsense to our community? So again, I'm not into naming and shaming, but if I was into naming and shaming, I'd be like, Voice newspaper, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you pushing this? Why are you getting paid? It actually says sponsored post. You lot are getting paid to promote the... Okay, there we go. Notice that as well, family. That's never happened before, where the recording just stops, but we're back in. We're back in. Yes, indeed. So obviously, when we go deep like this, they don't like it. Do you get what I'm saying? When we go deep like this, wee. But let's see if we can get back to the presentation. All right, family, let's go. But yeah, big up for pointing that out for me. If you hear it again, let me know. Yeah. If you hear it again, let me know. If you hear that the recording stops again, let me know. But yeah, I'm not going to name and shame them. But what I will say is that we now know one of their tactics is to get melanated folks to promote foolishness to us. Melanated folks, they use these melanated folks. And then what are these melanated folks going to say? Or what can they say now that we know the truth? Yeah, now that we know millions of people died and rare tear tear, what are these melanated folks going to say now? Oh, I didn't know. No, it's time to know, fam. That's why I say we should never be united through our melanin. It's not melanin that unites us. Unfortunately, it's not melanin that unites us. You know what should unite us? And this is from one of my master teachers. You know what should unite us, family? The truth. That's what should unite us. Yeah? So listen to one of my master teachers. This is Dr. Neely Fuller Jr., who was Dr. Francis Cress Welsing's mentor. Big up the people who know about the ISIS papers, one of the greatest books ever written. Well, her mentor is this guy, Neely Fuller Jr. And listen to what he says when it comes on to uniting. Listen.
You're united not with each other. You're not trying to get unity with each other directly. You're trying to get unity with the logic of problem solving.
Yes, sir.
That's where the focus should always be.
Right.
We think that we should have some type of mystery unity. No, unity comes from people looking at the same thing and seeing the same thing the way that it really is.
Yes, sir.
And so you unite with the truth. And since everybody who is looking for the truth, they will find the same truth. So you're united with the truth, and the truth will unite the people.
Mm-hmm.
That's the formula.
That's the formula.
You don't look at each other. You look at what the truth is about anything.
Yes, sir.
Find the truth. Get away from falsehood. You don't want to be false about nothing. You don't want to be incorrect about anything or make an incorrect assessment.
There you go. So we don't unite via our melanin. We unite with the truth, and the truth unites us. That's how we should be united. You don't unite with someone just because they got melanin in their skin. I hope that makes sense, family. And then just to finish up, let's go through some truths, yeah? Let's go through some truths. Do you know how many people have died since COVID-19, since the pandemic started in 2020?
I just sent Jamie this study, VAERS adjusted data,
and other derived from the MIT Florida Department of Health study findings that yield a conservative range of 470,000 to 600,000 American deaths from the COVID-19 mRNA shots.
That's it?
More than, well, just that alone. That's a lot of people, man. More than World War I, World War II, and Vietnam combined. If that's true. It indicates Pfizer, this is Pfizer alone, so this is not even Moderna.
Oh, okay.
Pfizer alone likely killed over 470,000 Americans.
More than World War I, World War II combined. That's crazy. And then when you think about all of these melanated vampires pushing this stuff on us, again, we're not really critical of the people who took it because they got bamboozled, they got deceived just like a lot of people did. But it is heartbreaking when you see that deception in real time. Who's seen this video? This is a sister, she's literally on social media and she records herself kind of just talking to her doctor. And she's kind of saying to her doctor, I was fine before I took this jab. Do you think that my illness, my disease right now is anything to do with the jab? And then listen to what the doctor says.
That a COVID vaccination could cause or trigger this disease. And before you answer, I was completely healthy until I was vaccinated. I want to cry, sorry. Sorry. Until I was vaccinated. I had no issues. And then I got the Pfizer. I'm sorry. It's okay. In April and May of 2021. And I started experiencing issues later on that year. And then was hospitalized. And then I went in one way and came out a different way. And it was never the same. But I did nothing different but get vaccinated. That's all I did. And I thought I was crazy because when I was hospitalized, I would tell the nurses and the doctors, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what this is. But I got vaccinated. It got to be this. And they were like, what? Here I am 4 years later. I've virtually met people all over the country via my social media. We have the same story. Do you truly believe that the vaccination could have kind of triggered the myositis?
Sure. I think globally speaking, I think there's a lot that we don't understand about how the immune system works or why it works in certain ways sometimes. SRP myositis, as you know, is incredibly rare condition to have. I certainly think and know that, I mean, when you get a vaccination, your immune system interacts with that and then shifts and changes based off of that encounter. We encounter things in our everyday life that are foreign and abnormal. I don't think that you're crazy. Certainly, if you have something that happened to you and there's like a before time and an after time, and that's all we have to associate it with, I think that's like a very logical way to think. To be completely honest, I have no idea, and it's impossible for us to say for sure it was this thing.
She says, this is what I hate when they talk, yeah? She says, I have no idea to tell, and it's impossible to know if this was the cause, yeah? That's like them saying, when it come, them watching that video of Piers Morgan taking the flu jab, then days later getting sick. Oh, we don't know why you're sick. We have no idea why you're sick. We have no idea why you now have the flu, yeah? But listen, this is what I'm saying. And the sis, when she posted this, her caption is, I appreciate the doctor. I appreciate what she says. She didn't tell her nothing. She's like, oh, well, you're not crazy, but there's no way of telling whether or not it was the vac. Right.
I don't think that you're crazy. Certainly, if you have something that happened to you and there's like a before time and an after time, and that's all we have to associate it with, I think that's like a very logical way to think. To be completely honest, I have no idea, and it's impossible for us to say for sure it was this thing. Like I mentioned, we encounter a lot of things that we don't realize that we encounter in our day-to-day. Right. People have reactions to vaccinations all the time. So I don't think that you're crazy at all in feeling that way or thinking that way.
And this is just a pet peeve of mine. Like, I hate when people talk and they're making a statement, but they make it sound like a question, and they talk like this, and they always talk and they're making statements, but they make it sound like a question. That pisses me off, rude boy, because that's confusion. Are you asking a question or making a statement, fam? And they tend to talk like that. Experts tend to talk like that.
It's just me trying to point the finger.
Yeah, and that's a very logical way to think and feel, and it's human nature. If there was like a test or some way to know, of course that would be an ideal way to identify, but it's impossible for us to say, was it something in that vaccine?
Right.
Was it something you had a genetic background that predisposed you to this?
I can't take any more of this babble. I can't take any more of her waffle. I'm sorry, family. Let me open up the floor. Let me see what the family's got to say. Raise your hand if you want to go live, if you want to ask a question, or put your question or comment in the chat. But raise your hand, family. Go live. Let me get my sister Marcia in the building. Mars.
Yes. So my question is, for the people who have taken the jab, who are kind of more like forced to take the jab, what is the best things they could do for their health now?
So there are detoxification things that they can take. The sister Barbara O'Neill, she's done a presentation on it. If anyone knows who I'm talking about, Barbara O'Neill, if you can get the presentation where she talks about how to get the spike protein out of your system, she talks about certain herbs. I'm not too familiar with certain herbs, but what I will say is, like the video at the beginning said, we need to be detoxing our melanin on a regular basis. So we shouldn't just wait until, oh no, I've got some toxin in my body, because we don't realize what melanin's doing all throughout the year, whether we've got a virus or not. Melanin's protecting us from pathogens, toxins. So we need to be able to detox it, or it does build up in our melanin and can have an adverse reaction on us later on in life. Do you get what I'm saying? Leah Salmon, she does live blood analysis. I highly recommend that people go and check out Leah Salmon, because she can tell you what's really going on in your blood and can kind of give you a program if, you know what I mean, certain things. Like it was Leah Salmon that told me, brother, when I see people who have been vaccinated, when I see their blood, oh my gosh, it's shocking. So yeah, but I'd say everyone, whether you've taken it or not, you got to detox your melanin. And then for those of you thinking how to detox my melanin, when you watch the recording of this, what the sis was saying with regards to high vibrational fruits and vegetables, dark green leafy vegetables, all of that sort of stuff. And with regards to herbs, if someone can find Barbara O'Neill, she's actually got a lecture where she breaks down how to get the spike protein out of the system. If you're in the WhatsApp group, family, Federica, if you can post the link to our WhatsApp group. If you're in our WhatsApp group, once I find it, I'll post it in the WhatsApp group. Yeah. Very important for us to watch that and know what sort of herbs we can take to kind of get it out of our system. Thank you for that, Sears. All right, let me see what's in the Q&A. Are Black people safe under the medical system, be that with fibroids, etc.? So are Black people safe under the medical system? Well, depends what you mean by safe. One thing about the medical system is they will medicate. You know what I mean? So if you're in the medical system, they will medicate you. You are going to be safely medicated in the medical system. You get me? You will be safely medicated. And again, I don't have any issues with the medical system as such. My thing is, I put truth over everything. Truth. So if you work in the medical industry, if you're a doctor, you're a nurse, you're whatever, speak the truth. Yeah? Because guess what happens when you don't? When you do that video like how Lenny Henry and all those people, that leads to people dying. Now what are you going to turn around and do? You're going to turn around and be like Piers Morgan. Oh, sorry, I've been misled. I didn't realize. Nah, man, that's not good enough. It's not good enough to just say I didn't know. Not these days. We're in the age of Aquarius, for crying out loud. The age of Aquarius is about knowing. It's the age of knowing. You can't go around saying, oh, I didn't know. I didn't know. No, man. Find out. Get to know. Start following some people that are speaking the truth. You get me? Like the Hidden Science Academy and Marshall's Melanin podcast. Get to know, man. Start knowing the truth, man. Big up Tina, she put Barbara O'Neill spike protein remedy in the chat. So there you go, family. Barbara O'Neill, big up Barbara O'Neill. She's been on this thing from decades ago. Yeah. And someone asks, how can I join the WhatsApp group? We just posted it in the chat, sis. All right, raise your hand if you want to go live, family. Raise your hand. There was a lot there. I'm hoping Zoom don't mess about with the recording. Do you get me? Because that was quite interesting what happened there. But yeah, I want, when you guys get the replay of this, make sure you share it with your friends and family, all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? Because again, a lot of us were deceived, and I know how good these people are at their deception tactics. So I'll never finger wag the people who took it, but I'll definitely critique the people who were pushing it. Yeah. The people who were pushing it, and even the people who gave them platforms to push it, even them folks there as well. And I gave some examples in my presentation. All right, so family, we've got some amazing events coming up. Want to see the family. It's great doing these Zooms, but it's always good when we can see each other in real life. You know what I mean? Because one thing about these Zooms is the usual suspects, they can always intervene some way, shape, or form. But if we're all in the same venue, vibes in with each other, you know what I mean? Learning, teaching, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's a powerful frequency that we build up. That's a powerful vibration. So let me see the family down at this one, the Hidden Science of Black Hair exclusive event, Saturday the 4th of April 2026 at the Legacy Center of Excellence. That's actually a black-owned venue in Birmingham, family. A black-owned venue. Don't want to miss this one. We actually did this one near the end of the pandemic. We got 500 people to come out to the Legacy Center of Excellence back in 2021 when everyone was still staying at home. People were like, oh, can't you do the event on Zoom? No, come out, man. Be around melanated folks. Be around like-minded people, all them thing there. And we got over 500 people last time. That was back in 2021 when we were just coming out of the lockdown. So now it's 2026. I want to see the family. I want to see everyone at this event. London, Manchester, Birmingham, Coventry, Leeds, Liverpool. Yeah. And everyone in between. I want to see you at this event, family. It's going to be an amazing event. We're posting the links to it in the chat right now. And then later on in the year, we got this one, family. The Hidden Science of Reggae. When I say this is going to be an extremely powerful event, you see, when it comes on to what unites us, one of my master teachers, Neely Fuller Jr., says that we should be united with the truth. So that unite with the truth, and the truth unites the people. So if we unite with the truth, you don't even need to unite physically with another melanated folk. If they're united with the truth and you're united with the truth, that naturally unites us together. But you know what's nearly as strong? Some might even say just as strong as the truth uniting us. Culture. Culture unites people as well. So when you have the same culture, it's very uniting, creates this unification, and people, because the thing with culture should determine a code of conduct. When you follow a certain culture, it should determine a code of conduct, yeah? And I'm going to be showing you how here in the UK, the Windrush generation, we created a culture here in the UK, a code of conduct. Yeah, we use reggae as like the backdrop. We use reggae as like the soundtrack to our spiritual revolution here in the UK. We're going to be covering this at this event, the Hidden Science of Reggae. And it is a weekender as well. So the actual event is on Saturday, the 20th of June, 2026 at Radisson Red Hotel. But for those of you who want to join us for the whole weekend, it will be from the 19th of June to the 21st. There's only about 6 rooms left for the weekender, family. So if you want to join us for the whole weekender, 5-star hotel, you know, you can enjoy the facilities, sauna, jacuzzi, swim, gym, restaurants. You're going to be chilling with us and some special guests on the Friday. You can get massages on the Friday. Then obviously the Saturday is the main event plus after party. And then Sunday, we're going to be chilling at the hotel, yeah? So if that sounds good, family, check out these links that we're posting in the chat. We want to see you at the event and or the weekender, family. It's going to be mind-blowing. And just for those of you who may not know about the event, let me show you this video ad that shows you exactly how powerful this event is going to be. Check this out.
The Hidden Science of Reggae 2026. What impact has reggae music had on UK culture? Can melanin be activated by the low bass frequencies in roots reggae? Is the Windrush scandal a deliberate attempt to erase the powerful influence of Caribbean culture from British society? And what really happened to Bob Marley whilst he was in exile in London? All will be revealed at the most mind-blowing, historically informative, culturally relevant event of the last decade. The Hidden Science Academy, in collaboration with Hidden Truth and New Initiatives Catering, presents The Hidden Science of Reggae, Saturday the 20th of June 2026, from 12 to 8 p.m. at the Radisson Red Hotel, Heathrow. This event is an unbelievable exploration of reggae music, Caribbean culture. Come and experience an educational conference like no other. Speakers dropping the knowledge on the day include Robin Walker, the Black History Man, Andrew Muhammad, the investigator, Leon Marshall, the scientist, Lady Adele, the Hidden Truth Queen, Culture Mark from Black History Study, and some very special guests. This event is not to be missed. Get your early bird tickets today by visiting theinvestigator.org.uk/reggae, or extend this experience by booking a room at our Reggae Weekender, theinvestigator.org.uk/reggae weekender. Let's celebrate our culture like never before. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today.
Event of the year, family. We've already sold hundreds and hundreds of tickets for this one, so it's going to be huge. It's already huge. We've already sold hundreds and hundreds of tickets. So family, get your tickets for this before the early bird tickets end. Early bird tickets end this month, February the 20th, I believe. So get your early bird tickets. The early bird tickets for this event are 2 for 1. So when you buy one, whether you buy it on Eventbrite or at theinvestigator.org.uk, you get 2 for 1. So you get your ticket and then a complimentary ticket for someone else. This month is the last month for you guys to get your 2 for 1 tickets. The ticket price will go up and then we'll drop the early bird special deal. So family, you don't want to miss this, family. This is how we come together, yeah? This is how we come together. This is how we unite. And large up everyone who stayed right to the end. If this is your first time on the podcast, we do this each and every Sunday, Marshall's Melanin podcast, where we tell you the truth with regards to your melanin and change the narrative around what they believe is something bad and something that just blocks out the sun. No, your melanin does so much more, yeah? Protects you from viruses, protects you from pathogens, protects you from the vampires. You get me? All you need to do, family, is not let them in and you're protected. So big up everyone that stayed right to the end. Get your tickets for those events, family. It's going to be mind-blowing stuff. Let's meet in person and, you know what I mean, build up this vibe that they cannot stop. One love, family. Take care. Genius. Beware of vampires, because deception is their greatest sin. Uniting simply because we have melanin is just not a win. So when the vampires come knocking, and they will, family, don't let them in. My name is Leon Marshall, and that concludes the end of this podcast. Thank you everyone for being a part of this. You're a part of history, trust me. And just remember, be the light you seek. Just shine, man. More light, more love, more life. One.
Thanks for listening to Marshall's Melanin Podcast. If you like this episode, share it with your friends and family. To watch previous episodes, search Marshall's Melanin Podcast on YouTube. And if you're on Instagram, follow the scientist at Leon Marshall Online. Tune in next week for another explosive episode. And remember, keep shining.